absolute genius.
So sit down, buckle up, and get ready for takeoff.
Each show will introduce you to a different genius.
An amazing person who had a genius idea which shaped the world.
And they will inspire us to come up with our own genius idea at the end of each show.
But will it be any good?
Will it be any good?
It'll be absolute genius. And on today's show, a master of gravity who changed the way we see the universe.
Get ready to feel the full force of his genius. Today we're going to introduce you to one of the greatest scientists ever to live.
A genius who helped uncover the invisible force that controls not only how everything in the world moves, but everything in the universe.
From this bouncing ball
To the stars and the moon in the sky.
ladies and gents, we give you the man who discovered how gravity works, Sir Isaac Newton.
Oh, get me down.
All right, then.
There you are, gravity.
Inspired by Newton, we're going to be coming up with our own genius idea later on in the show.
When we attempt to defy gravity.
But first, let's find out a bit more about him. We've come to Woolsthorpe Manor in Lincolnshire, where our genius grew up and made some of his greatest discoveries. Do you reckon he ever fell down these stairs?
Oh, gravity, yeah.
Newton was born in 1643, when the laws of nature and the universe were a big mystery. It was the early days of modern science.
So this is his actual bedroom.
Yeah. Look at the state of his bed.
Well, apparently he was a very messy person.
Right.
But obviously in his work life, he was an absolute genius.
Yeah, and look, talking of his work, this is where he would have done most of it here. Just literally just a wooden table and a wooden stool.
Yeah, no television, no computer.
No, but maybe that's why he was such a genius and it worked so well, because there was literally no distractions around here whatsoever. All he could do was just sit here, discover and create.
Be a genius. Newton made many advances in our understanding of the universe, maths and physics.
But it was here where he began to make his groundbreaking discoveries about gravity.
And it all started under this very apple tree in Isaac Newton's garden. And with this apple, well, not this apple, the original's a bit mouldy by now, but with an apple. Watch this.
Did that give you any genius thoughts?
No.
Well, it did for Isaac, because he started thinking, why did the apple go downwards instead of upwards or sideways? He started to think that there was some kind of invisible force that was pulling the apple and everything else towards the ground. And this force was gravity.
All of that from an apple. Genius.
Newton's genius idea was in understanding how gravity works. He realised it's a pulling force that makes apples fall to the ground and stops people floating off into the sky.
And he discovered gravity's force even tugs on the moon, keeping it orbiting the Earth. Genius!
To understand more about how gravity works, we've been joined by a genius helper. Marty Jobson, a scientist and expert on Newton.
Hey, Marty.
Hi, Marty.
How you doing? All right?
Nice to meet you. Yeah, good.
Why are you in Newton's kitchen with loads of eggs?
Well, we have a little experiment.
I like your yolks.
Yeah,
So what we need to do is we're going to do an experiment with 2 eggs, one that's an egg and one that's an egg shell. So we need to blow the egg.
OK.
So here you go. You take one of those.
in a while.
Take an egg, have an
Yes.
egg, and then you pierce in like that, straight in like that, and then do it on the other side like that. And then you need to kind of stir the egg up on the inside like that. Stir.
Oh, so there's no solid
There's other ways.
No, I'm sure this experiment will...
I've got 3 holes.
It's fine.
clever, isn't it?
And then blow.
I think my bottom hole's not big enough. isn't it?
Mess.
You great Muppet. Look at that.
Absolute mess. Now, Marty, we might as well, whilst we're busy doing this, what kind of a guy was he?
I think he was actually a pretty grumpy, unpleasant sort of chap. He fell out with loads of people in his life.
Yeah.
Loads of people who were other scientists. He had these huge rows with them, all by sort of letter. But then he was really, really famous. He was the huge celebrity by then. Oh, he was the man. He was the man. Everyone wanted to know him, and they would all come and visit, and they'd all come and visit. Oh, it's Mr. Newton. Oh. Yeah. And he was a genius.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, if we do the experiment, we take these two things, one's an egg shell, and we drop them from a height. Which one's going to land first?
Simple. Obvious, isn't it? The heavier one with the egg inside. I mean, if we weigh them, you'll be able to see, won't you?
Yes, that's an egg shell,
Yep.
and that's an egg.
Conclusive. I think
you
when you
are.
look at it like that, it's a bit obvious.
Yeah. So, very simple. All we need to do is do the experiment. You take them.
Okay.
One there, one there.
So he's going to drop them from upstairs?
Yeah, drop them from the top floor window.
Go on then.
Right, ready?
OK, Marty, Dick's up there, we're down here. What's going to happen now?
He's going to drop the eggs, and we're going to record it on this super high-speed camera here, so we can see exactly when they land.
My money's still on the really full one. I think there's going to be a considerable distance. Well, it's got to be. Much heavier.
That's what you said.
OK.
Okay.
Right, ready?
3, 2, 1,
go!
Don't go chucking eggs around at home. They make a stinking mess.
Let's have a look.
Well, it looked like they landed pretty much at the same time.
A fifth of a second difference, something like that.
Why does that happen?
Newton said that gravity pulls on everything and means that everything gets faster and faster and faster at the same rate as it falls towards the Earth, which means that it always lands at the same time. It doesn't matter how big you are, how fat you are, or how thin you are, you're going to land at the same time if you're dropped from the same height.
And this was part of his genius.
This was his genius, yes.
And here are some more excellent facts about gravity. The Genius Top 5. At 5, if you stood on Mars, you'd weigh a lot less than you do on Earth. That's because your weight is based on the force of gravity's pull, and Mars has less gravity than Earth.
At 4, black holes are points in space where gravity is so strong, if anything gets too close, it's sucked in. Even light. Yep, that's where the name comes from.
3, Jedward have gravity-defying hair.
We're joking! That's just silly! At 2, Earth's gravity is so strong, rockets need to travel at about 25,000 miles an hour to escape it and enter space.
And at 1, barophobics are people with a fear of gravity, including the worry it might suddenly fail and they'll go floating off. Hey, come back here! We've seen a cracking display of Newton's law of gravity. But how does gravity affect us?
We need our genius scientist, Fran. Fran explains things in ways even we can understand. Best of all, she loves a good experiment. And she's guaranteed to pop up round the corner just when you need her most.
Hey, Fran. How you doing?
We've been learning about gravity, but we want to know how gravity affects us as people.
Well, first of all, right, step on these scales, Dom. Come
Right, OK. Ooh! It's not too bad, was it? Around 70 kilograms?
on. Around
70?
75 kilograms.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah,
75.
let's say
Is
that.
that too many dirty kebabs?
I have.
You have eaten a bit too much, but that's okay, that's okay. Why do you think it is that you weigh 75 kilograms?
Well, what is it? It's got to be a bit of muscle, a bit of...
bit of that.
a lot of that, and some heavy bones. Yeah?
Well, it is. It's all of those things, because the reason you weigh 75 kilograms is gravity is pulling on all that stuff that you're made of, including your brains, your bones, your muscles, and it's pulling you down with a force that's equivalent to the weight of 75 kilograms.
So it's not kebabs, right? That is gravity that's making it heavy.
Yeah, but the kebabs have a little bit to do with it as well.
Look, I haven't got time really to be going on a diet or anything like that. Is there any way, by science, you can make me lighter?
Yeah, there is, right? Here on Earth, gravity is what it is. We can't really change it. But what we can do is there's another way to change your weight by changing, like, the push and pulls on your body. And that's called G-force.
G-force.
I'm going to show you this, but for this, we've got to go and play in the playground.
Get you thin.
Your favourite.
So, here I have got Mr. Newton.
Of course.
Just like him.
It does, with his little apple.
How dare you!
Right.
Right, and he's going to be sort of like our test pilot, let's say. And we can see how much he weighs on these scales. So he weighs about 500 grams, doesn't he? And we've got a little camera here that will be looking at his weight. But what we're going to do to Mr. Newton is speed him up and slow him down, and that will subject him to, like, different pushes and pulls, and it should change his weight.
OK.
Really?
So how then?
Well, I need one of you to get on the swing.
You like swings?
You like
Oh, I like swings.
Brilliant,
We
go on.
always fight over who's going to go on a swing.
You're more swing size. I'll
okay.
push.
And so hold him, but just at the middle there. We're going to be watching his weight.
Yes,
And
yes.
you will speed up and slow down. And when you do that, his weight should change.
All right.
There we go.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make him go a bit faster.
He's getting heavier. Is that right?
Yeah, he should be getting heavier when you speed up.
Yeah.
When you slow down, he should be getting a bit lighter.
Yes.
And that's G-force.
Yeah, he's going up to about 800 grams.
Yeah.
No, more. 1,000 grams.
1,000 grams. And
The higher I
that's 10 G.
Oh, painful.
We're going to attempt to defy gravity in our own genius challenge.
But first, we want to experience some proper G-force. So one of us is about to go on this, the human centrifuge.
What is this? Wow. What is that?
Oh, it's bizarre, isn't it?
This looks horrific.
A human centrifuge is used to test the effect of G-force on the body, the kind of G-force experienced by jet pilots. To explain how it works, it's G-force genius Alex Stevenson.
You're inside the pod, it starts up, it starts spinning around. What actually physically and mentally happens to you when you're inside?
OK, well, you're going to start spinning around and gradually you're going to feel yourself weigh more. So if you try and move your arms up, you'll feel that suddenly at 2-3 G, they weigh 2 or 3 times as much as they weighed before. So it's difficult to move up and move your hands up. You also feel that your face and your skin will start to drag down as it weighs more under G.
Sounds quite uncomfortable, doesn't
So
it?
you get a big floppy face?
A big floppy face, yeah. So which of you two are going on?
Wait, well, I don't know. Obviously, it's not something that we're going to choose to go in.
No.
Well, they tend to say people a bit shorter have a bit of advantage because there's less of a distance to go from the heart to the head.
How does that work?
There you go.
Hang on a minute, say why.
So there's less distance for the heart to pump blood to your head. So it needs to get from here to here. The shorter the distance between that, the more advantage you've got.
You're little, small. He said it. It's better.
Jet pilots can experience up to 9G. It makes their bodies feel incredibly heavy with the blood inside pulled downwards. Some people experience blackouts or G-lock. That's G-induced loss of consciousness. There's no telling how Dom will react, so he's starting off slowly. And keeping a close eye on him will be medical expert Des Connolly.
You look quite nervous now, to be honest.
Good.
What?
I've never actually seen you look so nervous.
I hate it. I've got to say, this is a horrific environment to be in.
Bet you really enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. Really enjoy it.
Sick bag, just in case.
Ready to go?
Here we go.
Stand by. 2.6 G, 30 seconds. Okay, Dom, stand back.
Suddenly just gonna kick in.
Here we go. Down.
I don't like that. Woo!
All right.
Didn't look like you enjoyed that at all.
I literally, as soon as we started going like that.
We barely started there. We got up to about 1.2 G.
His face went a funny colour. He looked a bit odd. Don't know if he enjoyed it at all. I've known him many years. I've never seen him look like that before.
I'll tell you what, we're supposing we just go for 2 G.
If I'm going to be honest, I can't bear it. I'm going to give it one more shot. I know what's going to happen. It's going to be the same results, but let's do it one more time.
Okay, Dom, we're ready to go. So we'll
Here we go again.
shoot us as we're going along.
0.1 G per second, stand by.
So this time they're starting out a lot slower, so he gets used to it, and suddenly it'll start getting a bit quicker. So this is 1G?
We're still 1G.
So we gradually speed it up. I'm going to call out each point one of the G as we go up.
Going up
1.2.
1.2 now. It looks a bit more comfortable this time.
1.4.
0.5, 6.
1.8. And that was 2G. Well, that was a crap. Early lift them up. It's like I made a look. My cheeks, I don't know if you can see it at home.
Yeah, we can see it.
My cheeks feel like I'm being pulled down.
Yeah, his
I
face.
think I've had fun for that.
I've survived 2G, but can I go up to 2.6G? The kind of G-force you might feel just for a split second on a roller coaster ride. But I'll be subjected to it for a full 15 seconds.
I'm here now, I might as well try it. And I know this is when some people go G-lock and they pass out. Let's just see what happens.
At 2.6G, the centrifuge will make Dom weigh around 2.5 times his normal weight.
Feel it already. I can feel myself getting really heavy. I'm really fighting not blacking out now. And now I can barely lift my hands at that line. That's 2.6G there. And my cheeks are really coming down now. I'm having to push against the floor and stop blacking out. But I can't explain that. It feels like this bag is made out of solid metal.
It's actually not very comfortable to me because his face like goes a different shape.
He's done it! Dom's made it up to 2.6G in the human centrifuge.
Going down now. Happy with that? Yeah, I've experienced it. It was a very, very interesting experience, actually, I've got to say, and I'm glad I did it. I don't think I want to do it again. No worries.
There you go. He doesn't want to do it ever again. But he made 2.6G.
Genius!
We've seen how Newton discovered how gravity works. We've learned how speeding up or slowing down changes your weight.
And we've seen G-force make Dom go very heavy. Now we're ready to take on gravity itself. It's the genius idea! Inspired by Newton's genius, we've come up with our own genius challenge.
Yeah, you see, we are going to defy gravity in what is quite cosily known as the Wall of Death.
It's quite frankly nuts, and this is what it's all about. Riding the Wall of Death is a daredevil stunt that dates back to the early 1900s. It involves motorcyclists defying gravity by riding around circular, vertical walls.
And as I brave the human centrifuge, it's only fair that Dick gets a go. Our genius idea is to beat gravity by whizzing around the Wall of Death. Our challenge, Dick will sit on a motorbike going so fast it sticks to the walls, defying the force of gravity. Our problem, if we're wrong, Dick will come crashing down to earth with a bang.
But before we do our challenge, we've got to learn how the bike will stay on the wall. So we're off to Cambridge University, where Newton studied.
University? I love university! Home of students.
And our next genius helper, engineering expert, Dr. Hugh Hunt.
Rightio, Dick, Dom.
Yep.
This is where it is. It's a turntable.
Right.
I want to show you what force it is that's pushing you out onto the wall of death.
Okay.
I want you guys to sit down on here, near the edge.
Right.
You both can do it?
Oh, both?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, OK.
You got to see it to believe it.
To be honest, this is bringing back bad memories for me. I'd rather he just does it.
Rightio,
All right,
I'm going to get you spinning up.
About time I did something, really, isn't it?
And it's just like what it's going to be like for you on that wall of death. That force pushing you outwards.
Right. I can feel it a bit. I'm holding myself here really tight. It's getting harder. Ah! Okay. Right. Right.
We nearly had a bit of an issue. How'd that feel?
Fine, yeah, but I was
control it?
I was holding the position for as long as I could, and then in the end, you just can't control it because that force just pushes you back. In my case,
well,
makes you
it.
fall
It's
off
that
the
force
turntable.
that pushes you out, and that force pushing you out is holding your bike onto the wall.
Right, got you.
That's what it's all about.
And there was no way of forcing that the other way, so the bike will never come off the wall.
No, exactly.
With that kind of force behind it.
That's absolutely right.
So the bike's pushed outwards by a force, but it needs something else to help it stick to the wall and defy gravity, as Dom is about to demonstrate.
Right, why do we need water on this freezing cold day outside?
Well, you need friction for your wall of death to hold you up, to stop you falling down. Now, if you put that glass of water on my tray here.
Yes.
Right. Now, friction, so if I tip this on an angle, it doesn't slide because of friction, right? Now, that friction's quite important when we're going around.
Well, there's not much friction, though, is there?
No, you don't need much.
All right.
You don't need much.
Hang on a minute. What's he doing now?
Yeah, the guy's a lunatic.
OK, yeah, I know. That's the idea.
Here he goes.
Look at it!
It's staying on!
Stuck!
Look!
Not
That's
going anywhere.
crazy.
Totally stuck to it.
Wow, right.
Now,
That is mad.
Dom,
Yes.
have a go.
Yeah, we'll have a go.
All right, yeah, now you just got to keep steadily increasing speed.
I didn't know I was going to have a go at this.
Nothing sudden, but just steadily.
Now, he is definitely not a scientist. This is all going to go wrong any minute now.
Watch out. We're right around my head.
Whoa, careful!
Friction is helping hold the water in place. Even Hugh can't shift it. And that same friction should help Dick's bike tyres stick to the wall.
This whole thing started with Newton here hundreds of years ago, eh?
Newton's room's over there.
Right over there.
And Newton, well, he kind of figured all this stuff about moving in a circle, all the forces, gravity, friction.
If only Newton knew what was going to be happening tomorrow, he'd be so proud of you.
You best go and get yourself sorted for it.
Come on, get ready. See you, man.
Dry run over. It's time for the real thing.
6 metres high, completely vertical walls, and no crash mat at the bottom.
I'm glad I did the centrifuge and not this.
We need to ask some questions about this before I go anywhere near that bike. And the first one will be, has there actually been any deaths?
And here's the man with the answers. Wall of Death master and genius helper, Ken Fox.
Hi, Ken. So why is it called the Wall of Death? Has anyone actually died in here?
In this wall, no, not on this wall, they haven't. No, but they have on other walls. Inherently, yes, there is a danger. If you fall and crash and the bike lands on you, you're going to get hurt.
Right.
So what you've got to do is you've got to do everything to prevent that from happening.
I suppose the dangers also are reduced by the fact that science is on your side, isn't it? Yeah.
But then you've got many things going against you. You've got punches, you've got chains breaking, so you've got more negatives than you have positives.
Let me get this straight. So if the bike breaks down on the wall, there's only one way it will go, and that's down.
Well, no, not always. Sometimes you go up and then down. Sometimes you go more forward, then down. But the final result is down, yeah.
While Dick psychs himself up, here's a not-so-clever way to try and defy gravity. It's the not-so-genius idea! In 1982, a man called Larry Walters tied over 40 helium balloons to a garden chair. He was lifted almost 5,000 metres, so high he couldn't get down.
After hours of floating, he finally managed to pop some balloons, crashing back down to Earth on a power line. Lucky you didn't get hurt.
A not-so-genius way of defying gravity.
And now, for my attempt.
Put your hat on. Look, you've even got special cam. Right. Special cam is so we can see his terrified face the whole way through it.
So, how are we going to do this? Where am I going?
You're going to sit here, put your bottom there, hang your legs down there, and put your hands just there.
That looks comfy, doesn't it?
Is his seatbelt? You're just going to fall off.
Looks like I'm going to. Feels like I'm going to already. How's it going to feel going around this ramp?
You'll be sweating, you'll be panicking, you won't get your breath, you'll probably feel a bit faint and dizzy.
Sounds
Apart
great.
from that, all right.
Brilliant. Come on, then.
Ken doesn't have to wear a helmet because he needs to be able to see in all directions. This is not something to attempt at home.
Hold on. First, some gentle laps around the bottom just to get him in the mood.
Lean back to me.
He's not happy.
Lean back to me.
He's not looking happy. I'll tell you now, he's not looking happy at all. I know his face. And
Now don't try and get off. Okay? Right. You all right?
Yeah. It's well, the main thing about it is
Yeah.
that you feel like you're falling that way. You can tell if it got faster, it'd get worse.
mean,
How much
but
faster is it going to go on the real thing?
Twice that.
Right.
Warm up over. It's time for the genius idea. Dick will now defy gravity by riding the wall of death.
Right, lean to me a little bit. To me. Okay. Lean back to me.
We're off the ground! Just.
That's it, no. Oh, come down now.
Before we go any higher, I need to stop.
Why are you taking it off?
I'm done. I'm not doing it again. I'm really not
Well,
doing it
no,
again.
just have a little breather. I can understand why you're having a break. When I did the centrifuge, I had to have a little break.
no, I don't
I
mean
refigured and then went back on it.
No, I can't do it. What are we going to do?
That's it? That's the end then?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Awkward.
Such absolute work.
See what you think first. Don't just go straight up there.
Ladies and gentlemen, using what Newton taught us about forces, I will now attempt to beat gravity. But will I be able to go higher than Dick? We're picking up speed. Moving off the floor. Getting higher. This is unreal. I'm defying gravity. The bike's being pushed out to the wall, and friction's helping the tyres stick. This really is genius.
Just stay there.
Yeah, staying here.
Genius!
I don't know how you did that, mate. I actually don't know how you did that. Now do you know what I mean?
Big wussy.
You know what I mean?
It was like riding a bike.
We've learned about gravity and Newton's genius discoveries about how it works.
We've seen how forces can affect the human body, my human body.
And using Newton's genius, we've defied gravity on the wall of death. Well, Dom has.
Big wussy.
All of this because of one man. Isaac Newton, sir, you are an absolute genius.
Bye, thank you.